The story of how the United States emerged as a global superpower is complex and multifaceted, rooted in a combination of geography, resources, historical events, and political developments. This narrative spans from the nation's founding in the late 18th century to its current status as a leader on the world stage. The early foundations, 1607 to 1776. The roots of American power can be traced back to the colonial era. European powers, particularly England, established colonies in North America, taking advantage of the continent's rich resources. The 13 colonies, founded between the early 17th century and the mid-18th century, benefited from fertile land, timber, and minerals. The Atlantic economy grew, driven by trade and the agricultural output of the colonies, particularly tobacco and cotton. However, the relationship between the colonies and the British Empire began to sour. Tensions rose due to British taxation without representation, leading to protests and eventually the American Revolution 1775 to 1783. The successful outcome of the revolution not only established the United States as an independent nation, but also set a precedent for self-governance and democratic ideals. The Constitution and Expansion 1787 to 1860. In 1787, the Constitutional Convention resulted in the U.S. Constitution, which created a framework for government and enshrined rights for its citizens. This period also saw the expansion of territory through purchases, treaties, and wars. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803 doubled the size of the nation, providing vast resources and land for settlement. The concept of manifest destiny emerged in the 19th century, reflecting the belief that Americans were destined to expand westward. This expansion, however, came at a significant cost to Native American populations and led to conflicts such as the Indian Wars. The acquisition of territories also stoked tensions over slavery, culminating in the Civil War 1861 to 1865. The Civil War and Reconstruction 1861 to 1877. The Civil War was a pivotal moment in American history, fundamentally altering the nation's political landscape. The conflict was primarily about states' rights and slavery, resulting in the defeat of the Confederacy. The war's end led to the Reconstruction era, which aimed to reintegrate southern states and address the rights of newly freed slaves. Despite the challenges of Reconstruction, the period laid the groundwork for future social and political changes. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments abolished slavery and granted citizenship and voting rights to African Americans, although these rights would be systematically undermined in the following decades. Industrialization and economic growth 1877 to 1900. The late 19th century marked the rise of industrialization in the United States. The introduction of new technologies and the growth of industries like steel, oil, and railroads transformed the economy. Figures such as Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller emerged as powerful industrialists, leading to significant economic expansion. Urbanization accompanied this growth as people flocked to cities for jobs. Immigration surged, bringing millions of people to America, contributing to a diverse workforce that fueled industrial growth. The U.S. became a global economic player, but this era was also marked by stark inequalities, labor unrest, and social upheaval. America on the world stage 1898 to 1918. The late 19th and early 20th centuries saw the United States assert itself on the global stage. The Spanish-American War 1898 marked a turning point, resulting in the U.S. acquiring territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. This war signified a shift in American foreign policy towards imperialism and intervention. The World War I 1914 to 1918 further established the U.S. as a world power. Initially neutral, the U.S. joined the Allies in 1917, contributing significant military and economic resources. The war then saw the U.S. playing a crucial role in the Treaty of Versailles, but a retreat into isolationism followed, reflecting domestic priorities over global involvement. The Roaring Twenties and the Great Depression 1920 to 1939. The 1920s, known as the Roaring Twenties, was a period of prosperity, cultural dynamism, and innovation. The U.S. economy boomed, driven by consumerism and technological advancements. However, this prosperity was short-lived as the stock market crash of 1929 triggered the Great Depression, leading to widespread unemployment and economic hardship. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal aimed to revive the economy through government intervention and social welfare programs. This period solidified the role of the federal government in economic and social affairs, laying the groundwork for modern American liberalism. World War II. and the rise of superpower status 1939 to 1945. World War II was a defining moment in U.S. history. The nation initially adopted a neutral stance but became involved after the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. The U.S. mobilized its vast industrial capacity and human resources, becoming the arsenal of democracy. American troops played a crucial role in the Allied victory. The war concluded with the U.S. emerging as one of the world's foremost powers, both militarily and economically. The development and use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki showcased America's military might, while the establishment of the United Nations in 1945 underscored its commitment to global leadership. The Cold War era 1947 to 1991. The post-war period marked the beginning of the Cold War, a geopolitical struggle between the US and the Soviet Union. This era was characterized by ideological conflict, nuclear arms races, and proxy wars around the globe. The US adopted policies of containment to prevent the spread of communism, leading to involvement in conflicts such as the Korean War 1950 to 1953 and the Vietnam War 1955 to 1975. Domestically, the civil rights movement gained momentum, challenging racial segregation and discrimination. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X emerged, advocating for equality and justice. The achievements of the civil rights movement further defined American identity and values, promoting the ideals of freedom and democracy. Economic and cultural dominance 1990-present. With the dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991, the US emerged as the sole superpower, leading to a unipolar world order. The American economy thrived during the 1990s, characterized by technological advancements, particularly in information technology. Silicon Valley became synonymous with innovation, fueling economic growth and shaping global culture. Culturally, American influence spread through music, film, and technology, with Hollywood dominating global entertainment. The internet revolutionized communication, further enhancing America's cultural reach. However, the 21st century has brought new challenges. The September 11th attacks in 2001 marked a turning point, leading to the war on terror and prolonged military engagements in Afghanistan and Iraq. These conflicts raised questions about U.S. foreign policy and its role in the world. In conclusion, the trajectory of American history is marked by a combination of geographical advantages, industrial growth, military engagement, and cultural influence. The nation's emergence as a superpower is a product of its ability to adapt, innovate, and lead on the global stage. As the world continues to evolve, the U.S. faces new challenges and opportunities that will shape its future role as a superpower. The story of America is ongoing, reflecting both its achievements and the complexities of its history.